Why should you never try to break a Sigma male? And why will it always backfire? Don't try it. That stark warning isn't just a catchy phrase. It's a hard truth etched into the failures of those who've underestimated these solitary forces of nature. Sigma males don't just exist outside the hierarchy. They render it irrelevant. They are shadow architects of their own destinies, wielding independence like a weapon and resilience like armor, all while radiating a quiet intensity that defies manipulation. But what happens when someone, a rival, a puppeteer, or even a misguided ally, tries to shatter their autonomy to force them into a cage of expectations? The result isn't defeat. It's a self-detonating trap that obliterates the challenger. These men aren't rebels without a cause. They are paradoxes forged in a fire of emotional sovereignty and ruthless strategic clarity. Confronting a Sigma male isn't a battle of wills. It's a chess match where they've already predicted your moves. Their self-reliance isn't a personality quirk. It's a war-tested philosophy, honed by a lifetime of rejecting societal scripts. Push them, and their silence becomes a symphony of counterattacks. Their calm? A smokescreen for a mind dissecting your weaknesses before you finish speaking. In this video, we strip back the layers of the Sigma psyche, the unyielding principles, the psychological armor, and the ironclad code that makes breaking them impossible. This isn't a personality type. It's a masterclass in invincibility. Buckle up. This is a Sigma male community where we decode what it means to live untamed, unbroken, and unstoppable. Let's begin. 1. They neutralize manipulation with ease. Sigma males don't just detect manipulation, they dissect it. Their intuition acts like a lie detector, honed by years of observing human behavior. For instance, when faced with passive-aggressive remarks or gaslighting, they'll pinpoint inconsistencies in logic or sudden shifts in tone, like a forced compliment masking envy. They might respond with a piercing question, "Why say that now?" or simply disengage, starving the manipulator of drama. This isn't arrogance, it's a survival skill. While others get entangled in guilt or obligation, Sigmas reframe manipulation as weakness, a sign the opponent lacks better tools. Imagine a coworker trying to gaslight them about a missed deadline. The Sigma will reference emails, timestamps, or prior agreements, dismantling the narrative without raising their voice. Their refusal to react denies manipulators the emotional payoff they crave, leaving them scrambling. In a world where most people play checkers, Sigmas play chess, turning psychological games into teachable moments about accountability. 2. They master their emotions under pressure. Emotional control isn't repression, it's tactical restraint. Sigmas treat emotions like data, analyzing them before responding. Picture a high-stakes negotiation. Where others might panic or bluff, the Sigma's pulse stays steady. They'll pause, assess motives. Is this person rushing me to hide flaws? And counter with facts, not frenzy. This isn't robotic coldness. It's the result of mental training. Many practice mindfulness or stoic principles, rehearsing scenarios to avoid being hijacked by adrenaline. For example, if provoked publicly, they might deflect with humor, interesting take, let's revisit the data, or silence, refusing to validate the attacker. This composure frustrates bullies, who thrive on chaos. By staying grounded, Sigmas expose their opponent's instability, often winning bystanders' respect. Their emotional mastery isn't innate. It's a discipline, built through failures and reflection, making them human anti-fragility in action. 3. They adapt and evolve through challenges. Adaptability is a Sigma's secret weapon. They treat life like a survival simulation, upgrading skills with every setback. Take a career collapse. While others wallow, the Sigma audits their mistakes, learns coding, or pivots to freelancing, turning ruin into reinvention. They'll dissect failures ruthlessly, asking, what systems broke? What did I ignore? Then engineer safeguards. This growth mindset extends to relationships. 2. If betrayed, they don't swear off trust. They refine their vetting process. Sigmas thrive in uncertainty because they pre-game disaster, savings for crises, backup plans for projects, even exit strategies for toxic ties. When others freeze, they are already testing solutions, treating obstacles like beta tests for their next evolution. Their mantra, pressure isn't my enemy, it's my gym. 4. They remain unmoved by peer pressure. Sigmas reject herd mentality with surgical precision. While others chase trends for validation, they ask, who profits from this? Or does this align with my goals? For example, during FOMO culture, like crypto frenzies or viral challenges, they'll research risks while peers YOLO into debt. In social settings, they'll skip parties to work on a side hustle or read, unbothered by FOMO. This isn't contrarianism, it's cost-benefit analysis. They'll even defy positive peer pressure, like unsolicited advice on marriage or parenthood, replying, "I'll decide when if it serves me." Sigmas know groupthink is exploitation in disguise, whether corporations selling trends or friends seeking accomplices. By anchoring to self-defined values, they become social kryptonite, immune to guilt-tripping, hype, or shame tactics. 5. They turn isolation into strength. Solitude is a Sigma's lab for innovation. While others dread quiet, they schedule void time, hours with no inputs, no screens, music, people, to reset their mental OS. Hey, they troubleshoot problems, brainstorm, or just recharge. For instance, a Sigma entrepreneur might retreat to a cabin for a week, emerging with a business pivot. They don't feel loneliness because they befriended themselves, journaling, practicing self-dialogue, or mastering solo hobbies, woodworking, martial arts. This self-sufficiency terrifies controllers. Try isolating a Sigma, and they'll thrive, using the silence to strategize. Meanwhile, the isolator grows anxious, realizing their absence isn't a punishment. It's a gift. Sigmas treat alone time like a superfood, consuming it daily to stay sharp in a distracted world. Hey, the one watching this right now. Ever thought about what isolation could do for you? I'm not talking about hiding from the world. I mean owning the silence like a Sigma does. Picture this. No phone, no noise, just you and your head for a few hours. Scary? Maybe at first. But that's where the Sigma male community comes in. Think of it as your guide to turning solitude into rocket fuel. If you're a Sigma, you get it. If you're not, try it anyway. Hit subscribe and tell me in the comments what you do with your first void time. This channel's all about leveling up your lone wolf game. Stick around, and let's figure it out together. 6. They detach from toxicity without hesitation. Sigmas have a no autopsy rule for dead relationships. When a bond turns toxic, they don't obsess over why. They execute pre-planned exits. Imagine a friend who constantly undermines them. The Sigma won't argue. They'll ghost, block, or vanish. No drama, no closure seeking. They apply the same ruthlessness to jobs, quitting without notice if leadership breaks promises. This isn't impulsivity. It's a zero-tolerance policy for energy vampires. Sigma's pre-screen red flags, love bombing, chronic victimhood, or boundary pushing. They'll even abandon sunk costs, walking away from a 10-year career or marriage if it decays their peace. Why? They've calculated the cost of toxicity, stress-induced illness, stall goals, emotional decay. To Sigmas, cutting losses isn't failure. It's life-saving triage. 7. They lead by example, not by authority. Sigmas reject titles because true influence needs no label. At work, they'll fix broken systems quietly, inspiring peers to mimic their efficiency. In communities, they'll share knowledge freely, e.g., tutoring, mentoring, creating loyalty no boss could buy. Their leadership thrives on proof, not promises. Instead of lecturing about fitness, they post marathon times. Instead of demanding punctuality, they are first to arrive. This creates a ripple effect. Colleagues or friends self-correct to earn their respect. Sigmas also avoid power struggles. If challenged, they'll step back, letting their track record speak. Enemies often underestimate this, mistaking humility for weakness, until the Sigma's silent competence outshines their noise. Their mantra, be the standard, don't preach it. 8. They reject societal expectations. Sigmas view societal scripts as prison uniforms. While others chase diplomas, promotions, or McMansions, they ask, who defines success? Who benefits? For example, they might reject college for apprenticeships or quit a prestigious job to travel. They'll even defy progressive norms like performative activism, preferring anonymous charity. This isn't rebellion for clout. It's a rejection of one-size-fits-all living. Sigma's design lives around idiosyncratic metrics, freedom hours, salary, peace, popularity. They'll ignore milestones like marriage deadlines, asking, Why 30? Why not 45 or never? By treating society's rules as optional, they become unhackable. No one can threaten them with failure because they rewrote the game. 9. They are lifelong learners and self-improvers. Sigmas treat mastery like oxygen. They'll dissect everything, from coffee brewing to quantum physics, not for accolades, but to sharpen their worldview. For example, a Sigma might learn carpentry to understand design principles, then apply those to problem-solving in tech. They are omnivorous learners. Podcasts during commutes, documentaries over Netflix, books instead of social media. This compounds into a unique edge, cross-disciplinary thinking. While specialists see roadblocks, Sigmas borrow solutions from unrelated fields. They also audit themselves brutally, identifying blind spots, e.g., emotional intelligence, and hiring coaches to improve. Knowledge, to them, isn't static. It's a weapon they keep upgrading, ensuring no one can outthink them. 10. They communicate with uncompromising honesty. Sigmas weaponize truth to filter parasites. In relationships, they'll state boundaries early. I value alone time. Don't take it personally. At work, they'll critique flawed plans bluntly. This will fail because X, his data. This terrifies manipulators who rely on ambiguity. For example, if gaslit, a Sigma will replay exact quotes. On June 3rd, you said why, here's the recording. They are not cruel. They are efficient, avoiding wasted time on lies or delusional optimists. Their honesty also disarms decent people, fostering rare trust. While others sugarcoat, Sigma speak plainly, knowing clarity is kindness. As a result, they attract authentic allies and repel energy vampires, a self-cleaning social circle. Why should you never try to break a Sigma male, and why is failure the only possible outcome? Don't try it. This isn't a suggestion. It's a law of human nature, written in the ashes of every failed attempt to control these self-sovereign forces. Sigma males don't just reject hierarchies, they dissolve them. They are rogue operators in a world obsessed with rules, architects of silent revolutions waged not with aggression, but with an ironclad resolve to remain untamed. Their power doesn't roar. It hums, a low-frequency vibration of independence that shatters manipulation, defies pressure, and rewrites the rules of engagement. When you target a Sigma male, you're not challenging a person, you're declaring war on a philosophy, one built on emotional sovereignty, fractal-level strategic thinking, and a refusal to kneel to any external authority. They don't just outlast their opponents, they out-evolve them. Every tactic you deploy, guilt, threats, flattery, becomes fuel for their metamorphosis. Push them, and their calm cracks open to reveal a labyrinth of contingency plans. Threaten them, and their silence echoes louder than your rage. They are paradoxes incarnate, peacemakers who won't hesitate to burn bridges, collaborators who will know loyalty, survivors who thrive precisely because they expect nothing from anyone. This isn't arrogance. It's arithmetic. Sigma males calculate risks with cold precision, treating emotions as variables, not vulnerabilities. They've already dissected your playbook before you finish your first sentence. To break them, you need to outthink a mind trained in lifelong resilience, outmaneuver instincts forged in isolation, and outlast a spirit that treats pain as a professor. Spoiler, you can't. The house always wins, and the Sigma male is the house. So why do people still try? Ego. The delusion that charisma can crack a code breaker, or that force can bend the force of nature. But Sigmas don't fight back. They redefine the battlefield. While you're scrambling for leverage, they've already moved the goalposts, turning your aggression into a showcase of your own limitations. The result? You don't lose. You unlearn, your tactics exposed, your weaknesses mirrored, your certainty dissolved. This is a Sigma manifesto. Freedom isn't taken. It's claimed. By those willing to walk alone, think deeper, and hold themselves to a standard the world can't comprehend. If you took one lesson from this video, let it be this. Sigma males aren't puzzles to solve. They are mirrors. And what you see in them, untouchable calm, unyielding resolve, isn't a flaw to fix. It's a challenge to evolve. To the Sigmas watching, keep building, keep adapting. The world needs your quiet rebellion. To everyone else, study them, respect them, but never, ever try to break them. This is a Sigma male community. where the unbreakable are understood, and the understood become unstoppable. Stay sharp.